everybody. I hope you're all well and enjoying the beautiful sunny day. My name is Ange and Anjali. What am I saying? Yeah, Anjali, and I'm the health and wellness coach. Sammy is here, and yes, today our topic is birth experience. And yes, we have Sammy coming. Welcome. Thank you for coming here today. I have Sammy will join in soon. So while we're waiting for Sammy to come on, we are going to. Hi, Sammy. Welcome.
Hello.
Thank you so much for coming.
Thanks for having me, Ange.
Yeah, awesome. It's nice to have you, and thank you so much for your time and school holiday.
Yes,
Organizing, yeah, in between that. I was just about to read your bio. So, Sammy is as a space holder. Pardon my English, okay? Sometimes some accent might be a bit weird, but you just correct me, all right?
all right.
So Sammy is as a space holder for the ultimate rite of passage, expressing daily gratitude for the opportunity to witness women in their most powerful form as they transition from maiden to mother. That is powerful, powerful words there. With a professional background in education and social justice, that seamlessly aligns with her doula work. She diligently keeps herself informed with the latest evidence-based practices. That is amazing. So I will just
Yes.
yeah, and a staunch advocate of women's intuition. Sammy's practice is deeply entrenched in this belief. She exudes a strong passion for physiological birth and admires the intricacies, I'm having a hard time, intricacies of the human body's design, while also understanding
wonderful.
and thank you. Respecting that this path may not be suited for every woman. As a full spectrum doula, Sammy wholeheartedly supports every birth choice a mother makes, whether it involves abortion, hospital birth, home birth, or any other preference. Sammy is dedicated to encouraging and supporting mothers in their informed decisions. So that is really beautifully written, Sammy. So I just wanted to ask, what is the spectrum doula? Just
So that
curious.
is from everything. So
Yeah.
from early birth, which our medical model calls miscarriage.
Yes.
However, this is like such a terrible term because no one has miscarried anything.
Yes.
And early birth still has a postpartum. It's still a birth. So I support that all the way through to elective cesarean. So I do about 2 elective cesareans a year, or home birth, or induction, or hospital birth, whatever it might look like. Yeah, but
Amazing.
yesterday I was actually at the Logan Hospital and witnessed the most beautiful physiological water birth, and it was the most hands-off hospital birth I've ever seen. The midwives were so respectful. So when you're reading that bio back and you know the first paragraph, it's like, oh, I saw it yesterday, and it was just so beautiful.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing. Thank you
I'm
for
very
sharing
lucky.
that experience. And thank you, Logan Hospital and the midwives there.
The
Amazing.
midwives were just so respectful. Really,
Oh,
really beautiful.
that's beautiful
Yeah.
to hear. So before we start the conversation, I just wanted to say that this talk is all about bringing awareness, educational and gender information on birth support. This is not a specific advice for you around, your birth decision, but to empower you with the information so you can make your own decision, right? And yes, and that's it. And then thank you everyone for coming here today.
Hi,
Welcome.
Sally. Hi, Laura. I can see you there.
So we have Sammy here, beautiful Sammy. So should we jump into the Q&A, start our conversation?
Yes,
Yeah.
let's do it.
Oh,
Yeah.
awesome. So look, okay, so enlighten us. Who is Doula and what is your role in a birth experience?
Yeah. So we're non-medical support people, or Queensland Health calls it unregistered support people. And we go into homes or hospitals to support emotionally, physically, with information for the birthing woman. So this has been around for hundreds and hundreds of years.
Yes.
Originally, this role was called the gossips, which was women who would gather to support women to birth in that
Mm-hmm.
exact same way that we do, and in postpartum as well. So preparing the house, looking after the siblings, preparing food, just like we do today. So this idea of a doula has been around probably since the dawn of time, and
Yeah.
so we are just doing the same thing. At the moment, the doulas are bridging the gap in the hospital
Yeah.
system where
Yes.
most women are birthing in a fragmented model of care
Yeah.
and they don't have any continuity. And we know that lack of continuity is a big contributor to trauma, especially in the birth experience. So
Mm.
having someone there who knows you, who knows what you want, who will listen to you,
Yes.
and can advocate for you in what you want
Yes.
can hopefully reduce those trauma outcomes.
Oh,
Yeah.
that is beautiful. And and as much as you're a doula yourself, but you know how beautifully you supported the midwives earlier,
Mm.
and so it's all collaborating and working together. And I love that side of you. And thank you so much.
We have to, and that's how we heal what's like what is happening right now within the hospital system is not working for women. And we know that because we've just had a big birth trauma inquiry with 4,400 submissions in like a week.
Yes.
They broke the website when they opened it because
Mm.
so many women wanted to put in their submissions.
Mm-hmm.
And so we have to look at this is not working. How can we get it to work?
Mm-hmm.
And by doulas supporting women, by midwives and doulas working together, obstetricians,
Mm-hmm.
like that, everyone
Yes.
to redirect what's happening within the system at the moment. We
Yeah.
need to, heal the sisterhood and work together.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I agree to that. Yes. So working together is and at the end of the day, how we can support the women community who are going through this, birthing process, right?
Mm,
So I think that is the most important part.
yeah.
So thank you everyone for coming here. We have beautiful Sammy, and we just covered who is Doula and her role in a birth experience. Okay, so we're going to jump into what information would you provide to our ladies to have the best or better birth experience leading to or after?
Yeah. So I think you have to get really clear on what a good birth is for you. So
Mm-hmm.
if a good birth for you is an elective cesarean, then you're going to want to find the obstetrician who you really gel with. You want the person who's doing 10 cesareans a day, who's prolific in cesareans, who does a really good job. That's who
Mm-hmm.
you want. If you want a physiological birth, then you're going to want a midwife or a continuity of care model. So maybe that's MGP, like at Gold Coast Uni, because I know you're down there. Most hospitals have an MGP. The issue is only 8 to 10% of women have access to it in Queensland right now.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's about, if I want a physiological birth and I want a birth in the public system, I need to advocate for myself to get into that model of care.
Mm-hmm.
A fragmented model of care, just going in, seeing a different midwife every appointment, yeah, you might get your physiological birth, but chances are you're going to be, swept up within the system, and you're not going to feel as hurt as you
Yes.
want to be.
Mm.
Or it could be birthing at home, finding a midwife or a doula to support you at home. Yeah, if you want
Mm-hmm.
that physiological birth. Not, you know, we see these, say, water births on Instagram, and we think that's what we want.
Mm.
And you have to ask your intuition, is it? What does that mean to me? And what does that look like in my life? And then you might go,
Mm.
actually, no, that doesn't feel right for me. And you want to go to a different birth pathway.
Yes.
So it's just about being clear on what you really, really want. There's a fantastic book from Catherine Bell called The Birth Map, and
Mm-hmm.
it's based off the Australian maternity system right now.
Mm-hmm.
And you just go through the book and she gives you all the options, and then you can
Mm-hmm.
get crystal clear on which birth pathway is best
Mm-hmm.
for you. Yeah.
Yes, because I was going to ask that because being a first time mom, or as a first time, because we get so overwhelmed by all the information or people's suggestions and advice and all these things comes to you and you are so confused which way to go. So,
Mm.
and thank you for, giving us the name of the book that, maybe
It's a
people can
great
refer to that.
book. She's
Yes.
doing her PhD at the moment on it. It's so good. Yeah.
Yeah, because it just it can get very overwhelming, and
Mm.
then and when people I was in France when I had my first one, and they asked me, "What's your birth plan?" And I had no idea what well, people has a birth
Yeah.
plan because
Yeah.
I'm from Nepal, and
Yeah.
all I've seen is mum in a labor, and they had a baby, and that was it.
Yeah.
And we don't have any birth plan. Oh, I had no idea, and so that was my first one. So so mine one, I did not have any expectation or what to do or what not to do.
Mhm.
But I guess if you know what to do and what you want, I think that would be helpful. But yeah, I had no idea what to do.
Yeah. I think that's a very common experience. And
Yes,
something that women get a bit trapped in maybe is they might have private health with pregnancy cover.
yes,
So they go, oh, okay, I'm going to have that obstetrician and I'm going to have a physiological birth. But
yeah,
that's just not, that's, you're employing a trained surgeon
mm-hmm,
to sit on their hands. It doesn't always add up. So you've got to look at what's everyone's role and is that person right for me in the room?
yeah,
Because it all comes down to support. Like if you've got a private midwife who trusts birth, has seen this natural water birth hundreds and hundreds of times, that's the person you want if that's the birth that you want to have.
yes.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. So, yeah, okay. So the what happens if the person is fully booked out, and because that's the chance, because most of the time people who are really good at it, they get so booked out so quickly. So you have to be, so I think
Organize it in preconception if you can, and make connections even before, if you're
yeah.
planning your pregnancy, even
Mm-hmm.
before you get pregnant. I
Oh,
have women who do that for me as well, and they'll
yes.
say, I'm planning to get pregnant in November. Could
Mm-hmm.
you just, keep next August or whatever free for me?
Yes. That's like booking your kids in a school before they,
Yeah,
yeah, as soon as they're born, aren't they?
that's right.
Yes. Okay. Amazing. Thank you for that. And what are the things that we have to keep an eye on after birth? I think,
Mm.
yeah, ladies to look into, yeah, after birth. What would you suggest?
So, I really would plan my postpartum as much as you're planning birth. Women, prepare for birth so much and they think about the labor and what positions they want to be in and everything. And then they forget about the postpartum. And that part
Mm,
is huge. So there's a lady in Brisbane called Caitlin. She's from Mother Down Under, that is her company. And she's got a
mm,
postpartum planning booklet, which is excellent. It is such a good resource. And I think it's like $20 on her website.
yeah,
So if, especially the first time
yeah,
mums who don't know
yeah.
what to expect in their
Mm-hmm.
postpartum, that resource is invaluable. You just have to. So I had one postpartum where I didn't do any planning, and it was a really dark, horrible time because I didn't put in the supports for myself that I needed to.
Mm,
And then I had one where I went, I'd never want to do that like that again. So I
mm,
hired a postpartum doula. I had all the meals done. I made sure I had like physio and osteo post birth to really look after my body.
yes.
And that was a beautiful experience.
Mm,
So you
that's amazing.
must plan for your postpartum, including like making contact with a lactation
Mm,
consultant, maybe in your
mm,
pregnancy, so you've got that support there if you
yes.
need it.
Mm,
Finding a really good mothers group. So sometimes you can find pregnancy women's circles and things. Maybe that's where you find your people before the baby comes. The Queensland government do have the child, um, like the baby education classes, and people usually find their mothers group there.
Yes.
Yeah, there's like so many around in the community at the moment, but finding those people, like it's like you just cling to them for dear life,
Yes.
you know. In my first mothers group, I went through the government one,
Yes.
and we were each other's lifeline. And
Yes.
it wasn't until like 3 or 4 months of having coffee every week that I went, oh, what do you actually do? And they're like, oh,
Yeah.
I'm a journalist with the Courier Mail. I'm a lawyer. Like, we don't
Yes.
even know because we're just like, I'm not sleeping. Say,
Yeah.
breastfeeding's terrible. I know.
Yeah.
And so you
But
just have to have that support
yeah,
there.
well, it's the profession is like nowhere. That is not the priority at that time, right?
No. It's like, how's your perineum? Terrible. How's your and you're like, we're
Yeah.
supporting each other in
Yeah.
this. Yeah. Yeah.
Mm. So, how you said that after birth care is so important, it reminded me of Dr. Frances Knight. So a few
Mm.
days, I think a few days ago, she posted this saying most of the time we think the birth is the end of it, but it is the start of it is the beginning.
Right.
Yes.
So when I work with couples as their birth doula, especially first time parents, a big part of that is saying, this is what your life is about to become,
Mm,
and just readjusting our
mm,
expectations.
mm,
You're not going to have that hour of dinner with your partner at 7 o'clock every night.
mm-hmm.
One person needs to go to sleep at that
Mm,
time,
yes.
and you'll see each other again in 12 weeks, and you
Yes.
just kind of hunker down and
Yes.
like survive this part together.
Yes.
So that's a
No,
lot of the work
it's
that we do.
mm. And I think expectation is another thing. Comparing. I think at the end of the day, what I learned from my experience is what people are really good at giving advice, but at the end of the day, what works for you and your family, right? And your child. And not every family is the same, and not every child is the same, or parents. So I think what works for you, and you keep doing that instead of listening and getting frustrated, or that is not working like their plans. So that was, I found that very frustrating, or when I was trying to follow other people's plans, the
Yes, that's
family
right.
lifestyle.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, that
Yes.
was my that was my experience.
And that
So
learning starts in pregnancy.
yes.
You might have a work colleague that had an induction. It was fine. And like, they were happy with that experience, but then that
Mm,
might not be right for you. And so, but you've got all these people giving them, well, I
mm,
just had an epidural and it was fine.
mm,
And,
mm.
everyone gives their opinions, don't they? It's
Yes,
about
but yeah.
listening to yourself.
And
Yeah,
like you said, advocate for yourself.
that's right.
Yes.
Which can be hard to do in
Eh,
labor. So
yes, yes. Oh, yeah, good. I can imagine that.
having a
Yes.
support person there to say, if you train your partner up really well, you have a doula and go, oh,
Mm,
she actually really didn't want to do that thing. And yeah, just
yes.
putting a bit of space in the room so that people just stop for a second and listen to you.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I think now we should go towards our Q&A session.
Yeah.
So if anyone has a question, please comment down below. And while we're waiting, Sammy, please let us know where we can find you, your services, your social,
Yeah.
and all those things.
So my Instagram is probably on here somewhere, but Sammy Griffin Birth
Yes.
Support, and my website's the same, just www. And I have a podcast with my good friend Moran. It's
Oh,
called
nice.
Doulas Uncensored, and today we just released a breastfeeding episode with a lactation consultant down in Melbourne called Amberly Harris, and it's a really good conversation. So if
Amazing.
you're there's lots of information there for first time mums who might be starting their breastfeeding journey.
Mm,
So that one's a good one, yeah.
yes.
And that's
That's
it.
yeah. And please maybe if you could send me those link,
Yep.
I can put it on our content so people can find you easily.
Yes.
So
Can
yeah,
do.
and if you have any final suggestions to our viewers and or the people who will be watching the recorded one.
Yeah, yeah. Well, if you are a first-time mum, I would the biggest resource I would give you would be Birth with Confidence by Rhea Dempsey. So that is a book that I just is my non-negotiable for
Yeah,
women that I'm working with.
yeah,
Um, I I really suggest strongly that all of them read it because it's such a realistic view of what labor is going to look like and
yeah,
really sets you up with the correct mindset for it. And then for postpartum, the first 40 days is a fantastic book with really good recipes and yeah, it's just beautiful information about what to expect. So
yeah,
they're my resources. Plus Catherine Bell's The Birth Mapping book, which I
yeah.
said earlier.
Catherine, Catherine Bell, you said?
Yep.
Sorry. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, if I will try to find these resources, but yeah, if you could
Yeah,
send this to
I
me,
will.
that'd
Yeah.
be amazing. So yes, thank you so much, Sammy, for coming here today and making the time during school holiday and be away from your little one. So we truly appreciate your time
Thank
and
you.
your yes, all the insights you have given us here. And yes, and hopefully maybe we will see you at the event.
Yes, and thank you for the community service that you're doing through this
Oh,
platform. It's really, really
thank you.
amazing.
Yes,
Yeah,
it's all about bringing the awareness and educating women, in all this topic so we can learn more and have the information to be able to make our own decision,
yeah,
take our health in our hand. And because
that's
I'm
right.
trying to close the gap between the traditional and then modern medicine, like
Hmm.
yourself. So it's
Yeah,
all about I believe in collaborating and working together, everyone. And
absolutely.
yes, and at the end of the day, when the people has the resources and information, and that's the best thing. And so they can choose whoever they want to, and however they want to, where they want to go and choose.
Yeah,
So I think that's why I have created this platform
that's beautiful.
and the women in Nepal are watching this as well. And because women's health is not as spoken out there, and so I
Yes,
think if they hear and see and these informations, hopefully it might give them a little bit of information around their experience as
yeah,
well. Yes.
absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, thank you, Heldon Birth with Laura. Laura, thank you, Laura. Yes.
Thanks,
All right.
Laura.
Thank you, everybody, coming here today. Thank you, Sammy. You have a great day.
Bye, Ange. Thank
Bye.
you.
Thank you so much. Bye.